Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go Network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. Positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go Network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests to share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Don't Blame Me. Ow, I bit my tongue. I'm okay. I don't taste pennies. Yeah.
I kind of like the taste of blood. I'm just joking.
Oh, I was not about to be like, well, it's not my least favorite.
Yeah, it's not my least favorite.
Do you
want
to hear something a revelation that Sydney and I had? Maybe Jerry.
Oh, what?
Revelation? Did I say relevation? I'm combining it with ballet.
I know.
Releve. I've always done that though. Is that a blender, when like a blender is blending, it kind of smells like period blood? Because you know how period, it's like a little different than, do you mean it's like more irony than regular blood?
Yeah.
And it smells like it.
I'll have to pay attention next time.
Mm-hmm. It was like we were in the kitchen, we were like, whoa. And then our best friend Jake was there and he was like, good to know. Well, guys, this is Don't Blame Me. It's an advice podcast. If you're new here, welcome. Okay, well, guys, if you want to call in for an upcoming episode, the phone number is 310-694-0976. And international listeners, you can send us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. Any other housekeeping stuff we have? Oh, guys, pre-order my book. I'm going to say it again eventually.
May 5th. Cinco de Mayo.
5th. Was I with you when I was trying to figure out? Yeah.
Amanda figured it out.
I was like, May 5th. That's like, was that a holiday? Cinco de Mayo. So eat some tacos, read my book.
Yeah.
It's going to be really exciting.
I'll probably get it like the day before because I pre-ordered it. Usually when you pre-order it, you get like before.
One day before?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I should order my own book.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because think about it, when it comes in the mail and you get to open it. It's exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
Monts didn't pre-order until much later. He's like, oh, do I need to? And I was like, bitch, what?
November 18, 2018 is when I ordered it.
Yeah.
So
and was it still on pre-order?
Yeah, when I went to Amazon, it like showed you ordered this.
Okay.
Like when I went to the page on Amazon, it tells you at the top if you bought it already.
Okay. So everybody, if you check your Amazon, if you already pre-ordered it, and make sure it still says pre-ordered so you can get it. It's going to be good. I just picked my author photo.
Ooh.
I was like, do you want me to Photoshop the bruise off of my leg? Or
it's
do we
a
want to
full
keep
body.
it in? No,
Are you
I'm
doing
like
this?
sitting. No. There's nothing professional about like, because I was like, am I not going to do it? I don't have like a headshot. I like am covered in confetti and glitter for like all of
That's it.
I have all of it.
Oh, I know this photo shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a while ago too.
I know. I'm thankfully like for a long time, or for, like once I had like my like emotional breakdown and dyed my hair platinum blonde, and we're
I
like,
remember that.
yeah. I mean, you guys were literally in the thick of it with me. Nobody else experienced it more than you two. But my hair was darker in those photos, and I was like, gosh, I mean, maybe that's the reason why the book didn't come out, because I needed to look like it. So now my roots are growing out. I'm becoming more of that. Yeah,
I like it. I like in the illustrations that Katrina does. She always makes sure your roots are darker.
First of all, so she started blending them, but for a minute there, I was like, Katrina, I'm gonna have a talk with you right now, and like, you're giving me like a full-on banding stripe, and like my hairstylist would be pissed because it's not that stark, and like when it was platinum, 100%, that's fine. But I don't even think we were doing the graphics back then. She started blending them, and I didn't say anything, but I was very close to be like, bitch.
She kind of made they're more 3D now looking.
Yeah,
the animation has changed.
Yeah.
She's doing a great job.
She is doing a great job. You guys give her a what's her? It's a creative, right?
Katrina Creates, I think.
Katrina Henning Creates. Katrina with a K and Hennings with 2 N's.
She hasn't posted in a while. Maybe go hound her and tell her to start posting on her.
Yeah. Okay, should we actually get into this episode?
Let's do it.
Hi, Megan, Melisa, Impossible Guest. So I am 19 years old, and the other night, Saturday night, I didn't go out, but this guy, he's 23. He goes to the same college as me. So he's a senior. I'm a sophomore. He came over after a night out with his friends, and it was around like midnight that he came over. It was the first time I've ever met him, but we had been texting for a bit. He is a very busy person. He's the head of a really like popular group at my school, and he also has an internship and all that. Like, he's a very smart guy, but also really popular in a way. He has a lot of like the guy friends on the football team and a lot of like close girlfriends. So he came over, super sweet guy. I think we really hit it off, and he was drunk. So I wasn't, and he was not like too intoxicated because, you know, he wasn't falling over, but he was a bit drunk. And he was saying some things like when we were sitting, it was just getting a little deep for the first time that I've met him. And like, I don't know if I should take that as him being just intoxicated or if he actually meant it. Like, he was saying stuff like, I don't normally sleep around with girls. Like, this is a big step for me. I didn't come over here just to like sleep with you. I actually want to get to know you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, good, because I'm not looking for just a friends with benefits type situation. And he was like, well, neither am I. And I'm not the type of guy to just like sleep with someone and then never talk to them again. That's not who I am. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, okay, this is good, blah, blah, blah. So then obviously we like did some stuff, and he ended up staying the night. And the next day I was just like, I had to go to work. So he just left, whatever. But he didn't text me the next day. I had to text him first, and he was very short with me. Now, like, I get that he's busy, but I don't know if I should try to reach out anymore and take what he said as him just being drunk. So if you could give me any advice on these types of drunk conversations, that would be great. Thank you so much. Bye.
Did she say that they met on Tinder? Or they just started texting?
I don't understand a lot of this. Like,
why were you
she's
texting?
19,
How do you know him?
23. He's 23.
Yeah.
But she kept going on and on about him being like popular in school and stuff. Like, this was high school, but it's college.
Yeah.
And so, like, were you like, none of that stuff had anything to do with what the call was? So are you trying to like imply that you're out of his league?
Or he's out of her league. You mean?
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's what I don't know. I think you're trying to give us like like, this is the kind of guy that he is, that maybe he's just super friendly. I'm confused how you guys started texting a bunch and then he came over once while drunk.
Maybe they're in the same group.
But they never met each other.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if maybe you matched on a dating app, or like friends of something of the sort, here's what I will say. As an ex-frequent partier, I think that for some people, drunk words are sober thoughts. And I think for other people, drunk words are a bag of lies, a sack of lies. Me, sack of lies.
Me too. I lie straight through my teeth when I'm drunk.
Oh my God. My name's never been Megan, ever. Not fucking once. Like, I will say anything. Like, I don't really give a shit. And I think, I don't know. I mean, I think in full like, to be fully transparent, I think a guy who's super into you, if he's really drunk, knows that you're sober, I don't think he's gonna come over, because I think like he does, that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like when Monts would have come home drunk, he would literally fucking, you were there when on his birthday. He just will like, hey, run straight to the bedroom and be like, do not, like, will not talk to, like, doesn't want me to see that he's drunk.
Mm-mm. Like I saw him and I was like, time for me to go.
And he literally just like was like, hey, stop, like, will not even kiss me hello, and just like, yeah, she has no clue. And I'm like, I fucking knew. But so I just don't think, I don't know. I think if he was comfortable enough to like show up pretty drunk and know that you're sober, yeah, I just think that's very casual, like okay with kind of embarrassing himself and saying whatever. And all of the things that he was saying are like, that's the epitome of what you say to get into someone's pants.
I'm not that type of boy.
I'm not that type of boy. I never do this. Like I'm looking, and also if the first time you meet him, if he's not looking for, you're just friends with benefits, you're looking for something serious, you would have gone out on a date. Like it wouldn't, and also because you've been talking for a while. It's not like you just met this one night or anything like that. Like you're gonna have this whole like big game of talking each other, and then this is gonna be like the first interaction.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be like getting physical, which is fine, but also it kind of just, I don't know. It's like, it's the stuff you say to like get into your pants.
Yeah.
So I think that like he the next morning probably woke up and was like, maybe he doesn't
even know that he was there.
He
like,
might not even remember what he had said or
Mhm.
anything like that. I've definitely been there. I told a guy that I had terrible sex with that, like, I was like, yeah, we should be friends with benefits. It'll be totally fun. And he brought it up and I was like, I fucking said that? Like, it was the worst sex I've ever had. Like, why would I say that? So I think like if he's not going to reach out to you, I would, you already texted him first, but I would just, I don't want to say cut your losses, but I would just kind of take it for like what it was, potentially like him just saying that to like want to hook up with you. And it sounds like he wants to fuck. If you're going to come over drunk to a girl's apartment, like you want to fuck, but like that's like a fuck buddy kind of action. So I would just, if he's serious and like wants to date you, I think you need to like pull back and he needs to come 100%.
Yeah.
And also if anyone's like, well, he might be embarrassed. Okay, let him be embarrassed and let him get the fuck over it.
If he likes you, then he will overcome his embarrassment.
And he'll apologize. Like if it's like, you don't need to handhold people to like through life to do like the right thing. Like let them do it, because otherwise if they're not going to do it without you kind of helping them along to do it, then like, no.
Yeah.
He has to learn on his own. So yeah, I would just be like, bye. I also just want to know how you guys started texting so much. And I feel like it has to be a dating app.
Yeah.
Like the first time you meet. And also no one's that cool. Like when you talk about like, oh, he's got all these friends, he's got like internship and all of that stuff. He told you all of that. That's like, hey, FYI, I'm really busy. But do you know what I mean though? When you like give this whole long story of like all of the stuff that he did, like all of that, he's giving himself an out, or you're giving him an out.
You're giving an out.
Yeah. Like, well, it would make sense. Like he's so busy. He has all this stuff going on. And then you feel special because he's spending a little bit of time with you.
I was president of so many clubs in college, very popular, was on the dean's advisory board. And like,
what does that mean?
That I would advise the dean on things.
To do what?
How he ran the campus.
Wow.
Yeah. And so like,
and you still had time to fuck.
Time to fuck. That's what I'm saying. Like if you want to make time to get to know somebody, then you will, especially in college when you're only really like, the only thing, it's less time. It's still less time than a full-time job.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
and proximity to where you are, and just like, it's easy. Like you're like, dicks are falling in your lap. Pussy's falling in your lap.
Yeah. I don't buy his busyness. No. And I think you said that you're 19, so you're newish, you're a sophomore.
23 as a senior?
It depends on when he started, and if he's a super senior too.
I told you we had a 7th year senior, right?
Yeah.
Also, I will just say too, I think it's weird. I don't ever think it's really a good sign if one person is super drunk. And also, here's what I'll say. We're like, well, he wasn't that drunk. He wasn't falling over. That you can't know how drunk someone is at all. Like, at all. Like, I was the epitome of like, I would be blacked out and walking fine, and I would be the last one sitting at the party. I would never throw up. Like, I was the epitome. I would be like, if you were like, oh, the cops are here, Megan, go talk to them. And I'm the drunkest one there. Like, I never looked it. Not never. There were some times when I looked it, but yeah, I don't think that but yeah, I always just think it's a little odd to be comfortable, not from your perspective, I mean, if we're talking like in a consent way, but I mean, in his perspective, like, how are you comfortable being so fucking wasted around this girl who's not drunk at all?
Yep.
Like, that's embarrassing.
Maybe he didn't even realize he was there.
Yeah, could be that.
Maybe he texted a bunch of girls and you were the one that hit.
Yeah. Best of luck. Let us know what happens. And if you're going to hook up with people, protection.
Right.
I'm married to a guy that I've been with for 3.5 years. And, well, I mean, we're happily married. He's an amazing man. He's gorgeous. He's got the perfect jaw structure. He's muscular. He's tan. Anytime we go out somewhere, girls are always staring. Like, he's beautiful. But anyways, now in the beginning of our relationship, we used to do it all the time. We did anything and everything, but now I just feel like it's a chore, and I feel like I have to please him just so he doesn't get upset, and because he says I turned him into a freak. But anyways, I just feel like it's a chore, and I just need help to try to get back in the mood, to get back in the swing of things. I'm very fortunate because I'm a stay-at-home mom, and he lets me do anything and everything I want to do, but I just need help in that department because I just want to, like I said, I just want to please him, but I don't know. I'm just not ever in the mood, and he's so, what's the word? He's really needy, and I don't know if that's a turnoff, but I mean, I guess I kind of like it, but I don't know, girl. I need some help. Anyways, thanks.
Boy.
Yeah.
I'm really going to have to try and put myself in her shoes because this is very different. Do you know what I mean? I think I tend to give... And I know I give a lot of advice. It's the whole point. I'm giving advice from like my perspective and what I would do in a situation. But I was watching The Reel, and they were talking about the best kind of advice is not, oh, this is what, if you're gonna say like, oh, this is what I would do, say this is what I would do. But then there's sometimes of it, what's the best advice for you? Yeah. And I think we're really different. I'm still probably going to give you both versions. I mean, I would just say, and this could also be like a cultural difference and that whole thing. The idea of like, I have to please him because I don't want him to be mad at me is like a really problematic statement. And feeling like sex is a chore, and I think just as a whole, it's a lot. And even saying, I'm so fortunate to be a stay-at-home mom, which, sure, but that's also really fucking hard. Yep. Like, I don't know if I would consider, like, someone who is a full-time mom luckier than a working mom. I think they're equally as hard, and in some situations one can be harder than the other, like a day-to-day, moment-to-moment, and then be like, he lets me do whatever I want to do. It just seems like there's I don't know, it's like a quote-unquote traditional household power dynamic. And I think if you're listening to our podcast, that's not really what we're about. Yeah. So I would like reevaluate or not even reevaluate, like focus on and pay attention to like, what do you mean he'll get mad? Like, do you feel like you have to have sex, because that's the other part. It's like, yeah, sex will feel like a chore if we're talking about like take away like different sex drives and all of that stuff. If it's like a change, like sex, like for me, even sex will feel like a chore if I'm not getting off, or I'm doing it if I'm not turned on at all, or I'm not feeling like, so
you're not getting anything from it.
Yeah, or I'm not like, so I forgot, what did she call it? It's like her intimacy, like it's not love language, the attraction one. Shan Boudram, it's all on her website too, and I took the quiz, and I'm so cold, I'm shaking.
Put your jacket back on.
I know I should. But I took the quiz because I was curious. I made Monts take it too. And everybody has different ways that they're going to get turned on. And so one of mine is the most clearly obvious one. And I think even the picture was of a lion. And I was like, yeah, every Leo will get this. And it's like compliments and like attention and being like, you look so super hot right now. And if you're not getting that, I wouldn't be in the mood either. Mm-hmm. Like if you're not getting, if it's just like whenever he's in the mood, hey, like let's go for it. And he's not doing anything, whether it's like sending you a sexy text through the day or just being like, you look so hot right now, or whatever that is for you that turns you on, I think it's going to feel like a chore. And also, you have a kid. You're spending all day with a fucking kid, taking care of your kid, and then you have to come home and your man's super needy and you have to take care of him too. Who's taking care of you?
Right. That's where I was going to go. Who's taking care of you?
Yeah.
I don't know how old your kid is, but it could be like a hormonal thing too. Like after you have a child, your body changes. I don't know if it was like when you were like going at it, was it before you guys had a kid? And then now, like after, how long was like postpartum is a long time. Mm-hmm. How long ago, was the last time that you were like feeling revved up to bang him?
Yeah.
And that you needed him and you were you said that he's hot, but like, are you actually attracted to him?
Yeah. And is he doing stuff that turns you on and not physically?
Right.
Like, is he doing all that stuff? And also like, let's say your kid is a little bit older. Are you so fucking exhausted by the end of the day that he comes home and he's been doing like, and also being a mom, it's not predictable. Like every day is super different. Like you don't really know what's going to happen. Like you flying by the seat of your pants and that kind of thing. And like if he's got a normal, like a 9-to-5 job and he has his routine and he can come home and like he can shut work off. You can't. No, it's like working in your bedroom. Like you're not supposed to do, like you literally are at home taking care of a kid and then he comes home and you're supposed to like shut that off and be like ready for it and like to go for it. But I think you have to have a conversation with him about like, or I think you need to figure out what it is that turns you on and you're attracted to and what he can do for that. And then figure out what's your level of sex that you want to have and not about him. Because like it's all of this is like, well, I want to make sure I'm pleasing him. I don't want him to be upset. And also if he's getting upset with you for not having sex, that's a
red flag.
Yeah, that's a way bigger issue. And yeah, he's just as lucky to have you as you are to have him. And it really feels like you're putting him on this pedestal and you're just trying to like earn your keep. And I don't think that's fair. I think it's just a conversation you have to have, but then also recognizing, is this for you or is it for him?
Right. Like, are you feeling like horny when he's not around too? Like, yeah. That's something to think about. Like if you, because like Monts isn't always around when you're feeling horny, is he? No. And then you take care of yourself. Like, are you feeling the emotions even when he's not there?
And it needs to be something that you want. Like, and if he doesn't care about what you want and it's about what he wants or getting back to what it was before, that's it's a bigger issue. Like, obviously you should want to please your partner more than you want to please yourself. Sure, in the moment if you want, but also you should want to please yourself on your own time then. Like you have to prioritize your pleasure and it's not your responsibility to prioritize his. Like, I just think, I don't know. It was a lot of like, and I hate to say that's a lot of like, just like, I would say red flags to me in the way you communicated all of it, but I also understand that, not to judge you by your accent, it sounds like you might be from like a more quote unquote, again, like traditional, like gender roles kind of home. But I don't think that you need to abandon those to still be, I don't know,
wanted,
like,
desired, and
valued.
Invalued, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Megan and Melissa. This is so weird for me to be calling, but basically, I'm 21. My boyfriend is 20. We've been together for like a little over like a year and a half now. And we've been through so much fucking shit together. But basically, I've been getting these DMs from girls for, I don't know, like a few months now, and I've just been ignoring them. And they're saying things like, you know, your boyfriend's cheating on you. I have proof. Like, sis, I have proof. And I'm like, oh, like, whatever. I bring it up with my boyfriend, and he's like, I don't know why they're DMing you. Like, I don't know who those girls are, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, whatever. I don't know. Probably shouldn't have listened to him, but whatever, I did because I love him, and I just wanted to pretend that, like, shit wasn't bad, but it is. And so yesterday I got this fucking DM. Sorry, I'm swearing so much. I probably shouldn't do that. I got this DM from this girl, the same girl, and honestly, I've been blocking them, and they've been making new accounts to tell me that my boyfriend is cheating on me, and, like, I'm sorry, but, like, that seems pretty fucking legit, and, like, I wouldn't make a new account just to, like, torment somebody about a relationship that I don't even know about, you know? And she's just like, your boyfriend is cheating on you, like, I have proof. I was in England for Christmas or whatever, and, oh god, that was so fucking good, and I let him borrow my car, and I got this text from this girl, and she was like, your boyfriend got his dick sucked in the back of your blue car, and he said that you have a vagina infection, and, just, like, stupid shit that was, like, it was too, like, while you were in England, he got his duck sucked in the back, he got your, oh, fuck, you get it, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, like, those are details that, like, I'm running out of time, but, fuck. It's like those are details you can't just, like, make up. And basically, I don't know what to fucking do right now. I love him, and he's fucking sobbing in my arms all the time and, like, telling me, like, I confronted him. It's so fucking sad and emotional, and, like, I don't even know if I want to be in this relationship anymore, but, like, it's really hard because I care about him and he's my best friend. So, yeah, I'm sorry if this is too long. But, yeah, I just really need advice right now because I'm so sad. I don't know what to do. Bye.
Oh, I want to give you a hug.
Yeah.
I had a friend in this exact situation, like with the text, like at the Instagram accounts texting and all of that. And your instincts are right. No one does that to fuck with you. And also at the end of the day, if someone's doing that to fuck with you, it's because, like, I mean, actually people do that too. Like, there's two options. Either she's doing it to fuck with you and she's sleeping with your boyfriend, or her friend is sleeping, I would say, or she's sleeping with your boyfriend, or her friend is sleeping with your boyfriend and she's doing it to protect you. Or she's sleeping, like, there is no instance in which this is not real. And this is also the reason why you're putting this into question, is also because everyone paints women as being crazy and like, she's trying to steal my man. That's not do you know who came up with that narrative? Men. Yeah. Men came up with the narrative of being like, my dick, everyone, literally. Yeah. And that's what this is. And my friend who was in the situation, she got all these messages from this girl with all of this, like, proof and all of this stuff. And she listened to her boyfriend again because she really loved him. And it finally, and this is the most heartbreaking part, finally came out through her boyfriend's mom, who the girl reached out to the mom and was like, I can't get through to her. I can't tell her. And it was his ex-girlfriend that he was hooking up with. And mom loved the girlfriend so much. She spied on her son, figured it out, and was like, you need to break up with him. He's cheating on you. Wow. And like his mom could hear and see those messages and be like, I'm going to investigate this. And that's his mom. And someone who's like, you know what, like boy moms put their kids on pedestals. Like that's something like, and even she was able to be like, let me figure this out. And I just, and even him crying in your arms and all that shit. He's
and the fact that he said he didn't know these girls, like, come on. Why would they pick her out of all people to target if he didn't know them?
It makes no sense. And I don't know if you've done like the sleuthing of, because I think here's the thing. You're trying to communicate with him and people make mistakes. It totally happens. People make mistakes. And what happens, I think the most important thing is how people recover and what they do after they've made it. He's upholding it and he's manipulating you and gaslighting you in the sense that like that's, and also like, and I say that because him crying and get so emotional and you're having to comfort him, that's gaslighting.
He's guilty.
He's completely flipping the situation, but he's turning all of that, but it's not, he does not guilty. So he's guilty, but he doesn't respect you enough or want to change his behavior enough to admit what he did and then move on from there, because you're clearly showing a lot of empathy like towards him and like trying to work through this and figure all of this stuff out. And he's not giving you that same opportunity, because here's the thing. If you get cheated on and you want to stay, that's fine, but you have to be able to make that choice. And if he's not telling you, then you're not choosing that. And that's also because he's like, I don't know if she's going to continue to choose that.
Right.
And I don't want to give her that option. So I'm not going to let her know everything that happened. So I would.
But you wouldn't have called. Like,
no, she
crying.
knows. You know.
And
maybe you need to stop talking to him about it. Look through his fucking phone. Look through his Uber. Like look through. You can look through like the locations he's at the most and all of that sort of stuff, and then talk to this girl. Get the proof that you need, like that.
See where he was that day during Christmas in your car. Like you can trace where he was. You've got the dates. See where he was.
Yeah, and hear this person out. And I think if I were you, I would, if you can, meet up with them in person. And yeah, I think what you need to do right now is.
I don't know about meeting up because if this girl is crazy, maybe it's not a good idea.
In public, though.
Okay.
I just mean in the sense that like, don't, or if you talk to her when you're out somewhere. Don't be at like, if you live with your boyfriend or you're with your boyfriend, like don't be in a place where he can get into your head and be like, oh no, she's crazy. No. Or like deleting messages or anything like that. I think you just need to you need the proof, because I think emotionally, obviously you're hurting, like it's awful and you know it, but I think for you, I think you might just need no stone left unturned, like cold, solid proof, because it's hard, because you did the responsible thing of reaching out to your boyfriend and talking to him about the first message that you got, because you respect him and he's planted the seed of doubt in your head. And then this girl is planting a seed of doubt in your head. And you're like, I don't know who the fuck to believe and trust. And you need to believe and trust in yourself of like, I need to find out all the information. There's a reason why I think you're feeling a little I don't know, not tethered or not super decisive, is because like you love him and you don't have this like solid proof. And I think you need to get it. And I think you'll find it.
Yep.
And it sucks. It totally sucks. But it's loving someone. It's not enough at all. You have to want to be in a relationship with someone, and you can't want that for him. If he doesn't want that, then it doesn't matter how much he loves you or how much you love him or how much you want it to work. If he's not going to make it work. And
there's no point.
No.
I could see like if he like fessed up to it and then you were working towards like trusting him again, but he's not giving you anything. Clearly he knows these girls.
Yeah.
He knows them. So the fact that he lied and said that I don't know who they are, that's just like another thing that messes with the trust. So yeah, just step away, because he doesn't want to tell you the truth.
No. And here's the thing. Maybe you find out the truth and from there he is super forthcoming and you guys are able to work through that. But you need to know everything and you don't. And like he's taking that away from you in a situation. Yeah. And that's not fair, and that's going to fuck with your head. And obviously this has been like a really rough time for you in your relationship. So you need to get all of the proof, evidence, find out the whole truth, and then from there figure out what you want to do and also what he's capable and what he wants to do too.
Yeah, it's hard to do that when you don't have all the facts laid out in front of you.
Yeah.
You can't make
a
full choice
because you need to know. And you don't even know what your options are. And also if he wants to work on this as bad as you do.
Right.
Which, and maybe also there's also a part of us in general that like sometimes you stay because you need to find out everything, and once you find out everything, then you can let go. It's not even like, oh, then I'll be able to like make it work and we can figure it out. It can also just be like, I haven't been able to let go of this because I don't know everything, and once you know everything, then you can make your choice. Yeah. But yeah, look through his shit. There's like a bunch of like, yeah, like there's I don't remember exactly how to do it, but like look it up to find through someone else's app on through someone else's like settings on their phone. You can like figure out the locations they're at the most. Uber, Postmates.
If they use Google Maps, it automatically records everything.
Yeah. But I think the first step is hearing this girl out and seeing that proof. But then also if the proof isn't so solid in your mind, I don't know. I wouldn't just take one. I wouldn't just take it and I'd be like, oh, it's not true. I'm not going to do some fucking CIA due diligence, background check work on all of this shit. Yeah. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. Fucking sucks. Well, let us know what happens. Give us a call back. Join our Facebook group. If you need help internet stalking someone, I'm really fucking good at it. So, but yeah. So sorry. Boys can really fucking suck.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back. Okay, guys, we're back and we're getting to the rest of the calls.
Okay, so I'm just going to get right into it. So, basically, I've been with my boyfriend for like 5 months, and he is uncircumcised. And I'm totally fine with that. Doesn't really matter to me, except he sometimes I feel like doesn't clean it enough or something because it like smells bad or like tastes bad when I'm going down on him. And I just feel so bad because I love him and I don't want to make him like feel bad about himself or uncomfortable. But and it's not like so bad that we can't do anything or have sex. I kind of just have been like powering through it, but it is kind of a turn off for me. And I don't want to hurt his feelings or anything. I actually have like tried to bring it up. Like one time when we were hanging out, I played this other podcast where they were talking about like uncircumcised dicks and how it's like gross when they don't clean them sometimes. And I was hoping he would like get the memo, and he didn't, because that was such a like passive aggressive way to do it. And I just don't know when to bring it up because I don't want to bring it up anytime near sex because obviously that's awkward. But like if it's not like right before or after sex, it's just kind of random to bring it up, and I don't know what to say or how to say it. So any advice would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.
You don't want to make him feel uncomfortable, but you're uncomfortable yourself already by putting a dirty dick in your mouth.
Here's what I'll say though. A dirty dick is a dirty dick. It's not about being circumcised or uncircumcised.
Yeah.
If you're not cleaning an uncircumcised penis well, you'll get an infection. You have to go to the doctor. So it's not like, oh, I didn't wash my hair that well. Oops. Like there are real consequences. And so I don't think it's a circumcision issue. I think it's just, are you giving him a blowjob at the end of the day after he like has like been at school all day and like went to the gym? Like, is it a sweaty nutsack smell? Is it like, because I don't think it's not, I mean, I'm gonna, go on a limb and say I highly doubt it's a circumcised problem. Also, like it's
uncircumcised.
I mean, it's not like a circumcision sort of problem. Like any dick can be a
dirty dick.
Dirty dick.
Yeah. But it can be extra dirty if he's not pulling back and cleaning everything.
But he would get an infection.
How do we know he doesn't have one?
Because he would know. He would know. He would 100% know. And also, if you're uncircumcised, you've had to learn how to clean your penis so much more thoroughly and carefully than people people with penises who are circumcised. And if you don't, regardless of your age, you can get a really terrible infection. It's like, if you have a fucking yeast infection or not. And so that's the whole thing. I just think that
he's clueless though.
Well,
I think regardless of any of this, she just has to tell him though. She shouldn't be giving him a blowjob, being uncomfortable, putting his dick in her mouth, and it stinks. Where you just have to tell him. You can't be playing a podcast and thinking he'll catch on. You have to tell him.
So, here's what I would say. I think if you guys are getting frisky, just say, "Hey, I really want to freshen up. I feel gross. Let's take a shower."
Okay, but that's still not. I don't think that's if this is going to be a long-term thing, that's only going to fix it in the short term, because that means that every time they have sex, she's got to be the one that's let's go freshen up and take a shower. Well, she's got to tell him.
Well, what if you say, let's freshen up and go take a shower, and and just say and you can even turn it back on yourself too. It's I just feel I've been sitting all day, I've been wearing leggings all day, I don't feel my freshest, and I love you so much, but giving you a blowjob at the end of the day, I prefer a clean dick. And you can make a comment about it, but include yourself. I would include yourself in it if you're afraid of hurting his feeling, which I think it's valid, but I think you guys are also that 5 months they've been dating. That's not that long.
It's not that long, but if they're having sex all the time, she can't just be every time they have a.
I think you should suggest the shower, include yourself in the narrative, and throw in there I'd prefer it's and if he presses and just be here's the thing, think of how your armpits smell at the end of the day. Your penis is not immune to that.
Yeah.
I think at least from how you're talking about it and trying to go about it in a subtle way and not wanting to hurt his feelings, I think that's, I think the way that you're most, for me, if I'm trying the best to soften the blow, I usually include myself in a part of it, and I've done that with boyfriends before, circumcised or not, where it's let's freshen up. This is not, you smell like macaroni and cheese powder. And I'm not super into that.
Yeah.
But I think then
I just don't. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think she just has to not even just including herself in it. Be hey, your dick smells.
Yeah, no, I think
you're being nicer than I am.
This is so rare.
I know.
No, and I agree with you, and that's something that I would have no issue telling Monts at all, but I don't know if I would tell a guy that I was dating 5 months in.
But I don't understand why you feel you're down there, you smell, and you're I'm still gonna put this in my mouth.
See, no, that's the thing. I wouldn't do that.
You've got to take some initiative on your own. If you're down there, it smells. If you still just want him inside of you, then bang it out. You don't have to smell it if it's down there.
Yeah,
but you shouldn't be putting a dirty dick in your... That's what I'm getting,
Yeah, no,
you shouldn't just feel you have to put a dirty dick in your mouth.
I 100% agree. And I think I would... and if I was hey, let's take a shower, blah, blah, blah. And even if I didn't suggest that, and he's no, I'm good. I would be here's the thing. I wouldn't put a dirty dick in my mouth either. But I think that if you're trying to find a way, if you feel uncomfortable telling him straight up, because she tried to play a podcast. I don't know if we're going to go from playing a podcast
where they actually
to then,
but
because also I think I don't, and don't make it a circumcision thing, because I don't think it is at all. I think it's just a dirty dick, end, you know what I mean? Think about your own vagina after you've been on an airplane in leggings. You know what I don't want? Anyone going to, I feel, but also women are so much, or no, I don't want to say women, people with vaginas are so much more temperamental, and something that it's literally, it affects our health inside of us so much more, STDs and all. It's much more apparent. Whereas penises are outside of your body. It's a little bit more.
It smells more. Like,
yeah, but like I don't think in general. I think in general, people with vaginas are more used to the upkeep and like the feelings and sensations and all of that sort of stuff. And you think of like the nerve endings and like the amount of nerve endings in a clit are the same as the whole penis.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's something up, we're going to feel it first versus a dude. It's just flopping around in his pants.
But when he goes to pee and he holds his dick and he doesn't smell it on his hand. I like really disagree with this.
No, and I don't I very much agree with you. I just think I don't know. I think the whole thing I don't think
it's not like our actual like vagina doesn't smell. That self cleans. It's the outside that smells. It's the sweat on the outside. So like it's the outside that smells. So like if I pull my pants down and I've been sweating, I'm gonna smell that. So if he can't smell that, that's an issue.
Maybe he has a sinus issue too.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would don't put a dirty dick in your mouth, I think is what we're both agreeing on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you're feeling bold and straight to the point, just straight up tell him. And it doesn't have to be mean. And again, I wouldn't bring up circumcised. I wouldn't be like, it's because you're uncircumcised. I would just say, hey, I love hooking up with you. I think you're so sexy. If you like giving head, I really enjoy giving head. But I will say that, from like at the end of the day, I feel like sometimes it can feel like, a little sweaty. It's like not my, like, I don't find it's like the most.
It's tangy.
Oh, truly? It's what it is.
Yeah. And
just say that and be like, and I, like, if we can just, I'm down, like, if you want to hook up in the morning or if it's just like a shower to freshen up. Like, this isn't me saying I don't enjoy it. I'm not putting that dick in my mouth until it's clean.
Yeah.
So I've been married to my husband for 4 years. We've been together for 5. There was this girl that he was involved with 3 months before we got together 5 years ago. There was no mention of her for the first little while until her name came up, and I had just casually asked, which I shouldn't have done because you always say if you ask, you're going to find something out that you don't want to know. That I found out that they had some history, and then I kind of found out that he was being a little suspicious about their history, and I thought, that's weird. It's part of your past. I don't really care. Well, just this last year, 4 years later, a lot more came out about their relationship, that it was actually very long. It was very toxic. This girl is so wild. She carved her name into my in-laws' futon. She reappears at the weirdest time. She is just like, if you've ever seen You on Netflix, she's kind of like resembling the guy from You. And his friends warned me about her for so fucking long. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear as a caller, but they warned me for so long about this girl, and she came back today. She messaged my husband. My husband saw nothing wrong with it and was like, hey, this girl messaged me. I wanted to let you know so it didn't seem suspicious. You can read all the messages. I told her all about us. And the problem is this girl is freaking crazy, and now she knows where I live. She knows my pet's names. He updated her on our entire life together. He doesn't see anything wrong with it. I am just so hurt and frustrated that I did not get to consent about information about my life being released to this crazy girl. And I'm also just hurt that somebody from his past came up and he thought it was okay to message her. I messaged her a not nice thing that said, stay away from me and my life. And I guess I don't really know what to do from here. I'm just so distrusting of my husband now. I mean, I have been since it came out a year ago what actually happened. She's always been a sensitive topic for us. But now it's extra sensitive. And yeah, this is all fresh from today. I'm sorry if this isn't making sense. I'm trying to get this out before he gets home. Hopefully he'll get back to me soon because I'm just so mad at him and her. And I swear she just won't stay away from me. And she locks me in the basement. I'm mad that she's back in our lives. Okay, bye.
Well, it's a roller coaster.
Yeah, to say the least.
I'm confused.
I am too. Okay, so this girl's crazy 5 years ago.
Yeah, but he sees nothing wrong with it now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe he feels like he's keeping her, because he's being honest with the girl that it would like keep her away.
Maybe he's a little like, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't, maybe you don't know a ton of the stuff that happened. And this is giving her, wow, look at me, giving your husband so much benefit of the doubt. This never fucking happens. This is a record for us guys. Maybe their relationship was super toxic and all of that stuff. I don't know how old they were. You sound pretty young. So I'm going to assume if this was 5 years ago, they were really young. She's in her early 20s, teens. Maybe she went through something mentally. I mean, that is the age where a lot of stuff appears. Maybe through their whole relationship. I've had guys that I've dated who have dated girls who were manic, bipolar, and were figuring it out through the course of their relationship. And that could be the case here. It could be that she ended up being like manic bipolar or something like that, got the help that she needed. They had since broken up and all of that stuff, but they're a huge part of their relationship and all the toxicity revolved potentially around like a mental health diagnosis or something that isn't his to share with you, that really doesn't relate to your relationship and you guys. And it could also be the reason why he is being like polite and nice to her, is that courtesy of they had gone through a huge thing together, or like he was there while she was going through that or anything like that. And just, yeah, how he knows how to kind of treat her differently. That's giving like a huge benefit of the doubt, because I think it would also, it's not his responsibility to talk about his exes and like the toxic relationship with you, unless it's coming into your own relationship. Like if that's something that like didn't really affect him and didn't like seep into your own relationship, I don't think it's something that he has to share. So I don't think it's like, wow, I can't believe he didn't share any of this before. Like that's so, like, why is he hiding it? If
it didn't affect him, he doesn't feel like he needs to share.
No. And also if it did really affect him, but it doesn't affect your relationship and it's just like a traumatic thing that's not positive or helpful for him to like discuss with you if he's already processed it. Like, yeah, like you're saying. So I don't think that's awful. I
think you're jumping to a lot of conclusions and assumptions about what happened. And you just need to take a step back because you're already thinking that you're going to end up in a basement. And that hasn't happened to anyone else. Like,
no. And these stories of these like crazy exes or whatever, it becomes a game of telephone. Like she carved her name into the food, all of this stuff. Like, oh, and like the friends, and this is all the part I understand. His friends have always warned you about her, but you never really thought about her. But then she's always been a point of contention in your relationship.
Right. A lot of things that you were saying were contradicting each other.
Yeah. So I'm confused about that. And then I'd also say like, you wanted him to ask you beforehand if he could respond, which I don't know. I don't think that that's necessary. I think
especially when like the things that you were saying, except for the part about like where you guys live, but most of the stuff that you were saying was just like common knowledge.
Pets' names. Yeah. I don't think that's.
And did he give her like your exact address, or just like we live in this area?
Yeah. And I think like him saying, hey, this happened and here's all the messages, you can see whatever you want. And I think that's really forthcoming and honest, but I don't think he needs your approval to like message her. And then it sounded like you then messaged from his phone, don't talk to me or my wife again. Because you said you confronted her, but I think you said me or my wife, which makes me think that you did it from his, or maybe you said, don't talk to me or my husband ever again. And I just don't know why you're so mad at him.
Right. Because if you said something like that, then that's poking the bear. If there is a bear to poke.
Yeah. But here's the thing though. If you're so angry, which you are in all this reaction, then is there something else there? Like, is there something else, or is it not just like, oh, she's so crazy or whatever? Like, do you feel like he's been backburnering her? Like, do you feel like he has been unfaithful? Like, what is it that is so, like, is the fact that he like was quote unquote like hiding her or whatever, not really diving deep into it? Is that because like there's an inkling that you feel that it's not just that like she's like crazy, quote unquote, or toxic, is that their relationship, there's more to it, and like more to it like at the current time.
You sound like you were going off of a lot of emotions and not taking the time to take a step back and look at the situation like it just happened and you're calling us before, like he went out to get milk and you're calling us before he comes back home. Like, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Process things and then go off on your whatever tangent you want to go on.
And figure out what you're upset about. And like, is your anger, I don't like your feelings, whatever your feelings are, they're totally valid and totally warranted, but like self-filter and process and figure out what it is that you feel and why you feel that way. Because I think, like you're saying, it's jumping to a lot of conclusions. So maybe there's some other shit that's happening that's fueling this, because this to me is a prime example of if it's hysterical, it's historical sort of thing. Like you just dropped like 12 flights, like you just like elevator dropped, sunk, that sort of thing. And so how did you already start that? Like how did you already begin to make that process of getting to this level? Because it does seem like a massive, massive jump. And I don't know, I've had toxic relationships. I've again like been with people who've had toxic relationships and all of that. And it's something that like, it's not, from my experience, there's no anger that I have to my partner or my partner has to me in regards to the relationship. And I mean, there's like a guy that I used to like hook up with, like will still occasionally text me and I'll respond and like, I'll give like Monts a heads up that like, hey, and it's like, okay, cool, whatever. And like this, he'd do the same thing, but it's not, I don't know. I think you need to figure out why you're so pissed. Because I don't know, like is someone hiding something? There's a whole, and yeah, rich coming from me, but there's a whole lot of reasons why people don't disclose something, but that doesn't always mean that it's hiding.
Right.
And like if you've
maybe he's already processed it and he's over it. And and you like, why are you so suspicious of what's going on?
I mean, honestly, my 100% gut instinct goes to, it was like she was in her, like his ex-girlfriend was in her late teens, early 20s. And it just, to me, it sounds a very familiar story of friends that I have who've gone through like manic bipolar stuff. Or, I mean, that's what I'm claiming from like my own experience with my friends, but that's what that sounds like to me. And it would also make so much sense to me if that's why you're not hearing a bunch about it, because that's not his story to tell. And he just happened to be in a relationship with her when she was going through all of this stuff, and it seeped into their relationship. And it would also make sense why out of that relationship it doesn't affect him, because it's been 5 years. You've been with him for 4. Yeah, it's like you're looking for something, like, and that's what I don't want to say that it's like, oh, you're just like looking for drama. I would like look within your own life to see what else are you not addressing or not realizing is actually fueling these feelings. Well, on to the
update.
Oh my gosh, time for an update? Fuck yeah. What's this one from?
So this is from episode with Leo, and the girl, she was dating a guy and everything was moving too quickly until she's
a whiff and poof, or what was the other one? A whippersnapper.
Hi, Megan. I'm calling with an update. I was featured on the episode with Leo, and I'm the girl who is dating a guy, and it was moving a little bit too quickly. He invited me to his family vacation to Hawaii after like knowing each other for a month. And then the other thing was the sex wasn't really very good for me, and he wasn't really going down on me very well. And basically the first issue kind of resolved itself. After he invited me, a few days later, he kind of told me that he'd thought about it and he realized that it was a lot of pressure to put on a new relationship. And, you know, while the invitation still stood, he understood if, you know, it was just a little bit too much for me. I said, yeah, it's kind of a lot of pressure, especially for only knowing each other for like a month. So yeah, that is totally resolved. He went on the vacation and came back and everything is fine. And then with the sex, it's actually like really great now. Basically what I did is I just talked to him, and I didn't really like hide how I was feeling. But I wasn't trying to like be mean or anything. I just told him like it felt like he wasn't prioritizing me, and it made me feel like he didn't really care about me, which based on our relationship like outside of sex, I knew that wasn't true, but that's just how it made me feel. So I told him that, and he took me really seriously and made a lot more effort from that point on. And then the other thing that I did was I also just Googled like tips for eating pussy and things like that, and read a few articles and sent him ones that I thought gave good advice like for me, like what I enjoyed. So yeah, now I'm getting off, which is really exciting. I've actually never orgasmed with a partner before. I have by myself. That's probably something I should have included in my original question, just because maybe I wasn't giving the best instructions. But yeah, it's all really great now. Thank you for your advice. Bye.
Wow. You've had quite a journey.
This has been quite the turnaround.
Yeah. You like simmered down and how much he was rushing. Now he's eating your vagina correctly.
You sent him articles, which I fucking love.
I do too. You took the initiative.
Yeah. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think it's really great.
This is one of the ones where they took all the advice and their life is like completely changed.
Yeah, look at you fucking bitches who don't take the advice. Look what I mean, you could be getting off.
In a great relationship.
Yeah. Did we remember how old she was?
I don't remember.
There has been this new theme.
I can find it.
There's a new theme, and I've seen it like on the Facebook group a huge amount of guys who come on really strong, and I just don't fucking get it. Yeah. Like, I really, truly don't get it. And this, I mean, it sounds like you're really happy and it won't apply in the situation to you, but I would really urge anyone who feels like a guy is coming on too strong. I'm a serial ghoster, but someone who's coming on like too strong for you, if you have to ask people like, hey, does this seem like, follow your gut instincts and how you feel, because here's the thing, everyone, and I literally went off on a fucking Facebook, like one of our Facebook message, like posts about this, where everyone's going to give you the advice like you're the exception to the rule. And in our podcast, I'm going to treat you like you're the rule. And any woman who's like, I'm going to gender it because this is from like our Facebook group and that experience. Everyone was like, well, my boyfriend came on too strong and it was like, actually, like, it was like, it totally lasted. It wasn't bad. And I was like, yeah, it's because you liked it. It's because like those people who come on really strong are meant for other people who are also want to rush into things and stuff like that. So I just think that like, this call sounds like an exception to the rule, but just as like a PSA, if someone's coming on too strong or too fast or kind of rushing into a relationship, you follow your gut instincts and your feelings, and everyone being like, well, give them more chances, tell them to change. Bad advice from me or whatever, I don't think you should. I think like if they're coming on way too strong, way too soon.
And you feel exceptionally uncomfortable and you don't like it.
And you have to then talk to your friends to be like, is this okay that I don't like it? No, just be done. Be done. And the people who, again, have dated or been with someone who like came on really strong, either they also come on strong or they like it. And that's who that person should be with. And I just think that like, it's just, I don't want to call it a red flag. I think a huge amount of times it can be a red flag, but I think it's just an indicator that this person is probably not super compatible with you. Yep. And I just don't think,
like in her instance, she did talk to him about it and he backed up off like he.
Well, and he backed up before she even talked about it. And I think that's something like he did a great job post that self-filtering. And that's like something that I think I think the whole thing with coming on too strong or moving really fast, I think that's an issue of self-filtering. And that's for me, the big, like, it encompasses every trait that I will not like if you can't do that. And I think for him being like, okay, I read the situation, saw her response, thought about it a little bit more. It's still within my character and I still want to show her that I really like her, but I'm going to be like, hey, you know what? I realized that I checked myself and it wasn't, I didn't necessarily
do
it.
Wreck himself.
Exactly. And he didn't necessarily do it in the moment, but he thought about it and did it later.
Yeah.
And I think that shows true initiative of being like, okay, here, I'm going to come. And you should always be yourself in a relationship. But there's like a level of like, okay, I'm going to be myself. And then I'm also going to recognize if this makes you feel uncomfortable. And then I'm going to pull back. I'm not going to not be myself, but I'm going to be myself in a way that's considerate to how you're receiving that. And I think that's like a really important thing. So this is like, I would say, is an exception to the rule sort of thing. But also you didn't have to tell him. I think he was able to recognize that in you.
It was probably like, you just invited some girl you don't know.
They're like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? But no, I think that's like a smart... I don't know, from him, I think that's like an emotionally evolved thing. And I think people who just kind of go guns blazing and like, I don't know, people aren't really good at showing that, like, you kind of showed it on your, like, you know, if someone's a little uncomfortable or kind of like feeling off. And if you're still going to go forward with that for me, I'm like, oh, you don't
don't
really
care about my feelings.
Yeah. And like, you're just going forth with yours regardless. And we all, if you really like someone, like there's definitely an urge to kind of
jump in head first, but you gotta protect yourself.
That's the other part that I think is a little odd when people don't. I'm like, you don't know that I'm not just gonna like totally wreck you. I probably will. But yeah, I think that's just, this is an exception to the rule sort of thing. But I think it was great. I'm very happy for you. And guys, look what happens if you take our advice. I'll have to tell Leo.
You get to have orgasms. You get to be in a good relationship. She had the option to go to Hawaii if she wanted to. But, you know, take it if you would like to have a more evolved life. I'm just saying.
Just fucking saying. That, we have to add that to our cult word repertoire.
Yeah.
Evolved life. That's in our selling point of our cult. Welcome to our community where you can lead an evolved life. Listen to ours.
Listen to us.
Holy shit. We're scary. This is amazing. I feel like her name's Sophie. She sounds like a Sophie.
Yeah, I looked it up. She didn't give her age in the first one either. But yeah.
I'm gonna
go 24.
Yeah, I could see that. I could go 22 to 23.
I don't see, but she took the advice. That's why I'm not gonna go 22 or 23.
Oh, you're 100% right.
And she was like, sent him the articles about. I don't think 22-year-olds are sending articles.
No, I think was I sending BuzzFeed quizzes.
That's a
I was like, yo, what pastry are you? I love a BuzzFeed quiz.
I love when like your nerdiness comes out.
There's a new movie called Horse Girl that's coming out, and I feel like I need to see it. Because here's the thing, I hate horses. No, I didn't. It's Alison Brie. It was offer only. First, I saw the title, I was like, bitch, what? Why did I? But I am the epitome of a horse girl, but I just hate horses. Okay, guys. Well, that's it for our episode. That's it for. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. One more time. Did you have a stroke?
My tongue just. I don't know. It just had a mind of its own.
It was like, I don't know. That's it for
our.
Oh my God! Would you like me?
That's it for our episode.
You're also not really closing your mouth between words.
Our episode.
Yeah.
That's it for our episode.
That's it for our episode.
That's it for our episode.
I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, please pre-order my book, You're Not Special, anywhere that books are sold. Bookstores, the online bookstores.
Amazon.
Yep.
That's where I got mine.
Yeah, please do it. I would love it so much. If you guys want to be on an upcoming episode, or you are the girl who was losing her shit over the crazy ex-girlfriend, please give us a call at 310-694-0976. International listeners, you can send us an audio message at meghanpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, Don't Blame Meme Pod. And if you want to listen to the episode ad-free, check us out on Stitcher Premium. Videos over on YouTube, and then the audio version, which you're here, obviously, whatever you're listening to. There's like audio, video. Just go to our website. It'll tell you everything. There's a lot of fucking stuff. And please go follow us on Instagram, because if we get to 10K, then we can include swipe up links, which will be fucking fantastic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we can have, and think about this. This will be your incentive. We can do swipe up links for fucking the Crescendo, our favorite sex toy. We can do swipe up links for new episodes. Maybe it's even, I don't know, if people are on the Facebook group are being like recommending specific things or products, or we talk about that kind of stuff. We can do a swipe up. We can do a swipe up for those of you who are asking for affordable therapy, finding a therapist.
But also, I just feel like this has to be said all the time. Please do not DM asking questions.
Yeah. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You're just not going to get, like, you're better off joining our Facebook group and sourcing there, but we're not going to answer.
Especially if it's like 5 paragraphs long.
No, I don't have the attention span for that.
Either.
The scrolling, and then sometimes they send out of order. And no offense, I don't care how shy you are. No one knows what your voice sounds like.
Nope.
And there's also voice changer apps. They've had people who've done that. So, and if you're afraid, and we've said this before, if you have an accent and you're afraid that we're not going to be able to understand you, send a transcription of everything that you say. Write down your question or write down what you're going to say on the call, and then send us an audio message of you reading that, and then also send us what you wrote down. Yeah. So then we're able to follow along. So they have no excuses, okay?
No excuses.
Well, we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Don't Blame Me is a production by me. Executive produced by Melisa Monts. Camera operator Amanda Lechner. And music by Ryan Hunter and Giacomo Picasso. As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Listening to a podcast should be time well spent, and I promise it will be if you'll give this podcast a try. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in every episode, I talk with leading experts on topics I know you will find fascinating. From why people can't keep secrets, what your favorite music says about you, why your pet acts in strange ways, and so much more. Something You Should Know is designed to give you information you can use in your life and give you great intel that you can share with others. I'm told it's a binge-worthy podcast. And with over 1,000 episodes, there's a lot to binge on. Something You Should Know has been ranked in the top of the Apple Podcast charts consistently for a long time. I know you're going to like this. I just need to get you to try it. Something You Should Know. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
Hey, are you ready for some real talk and some fantastic laughs? Join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melisa Monts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
We're serving up 4 hilarious shows every week designed to entertain and engage and, possibly enrage you.
In Don't Blame Me, we dive deep into listeners' questions, offering advice that's funny, relatable, and real.
Whether you're dealing with relationship drama or you just need a friend's perspective, we've got you.
Then switch gears with But Am I Wrong, which is for listeners who didn't take our advice and want to know if they are the villains in the situation.
Plus, we share our hot takes on current events and present situations that we might even be wrong in our lives. Spoiler alert, we are actually quite literally never wrong.
But wait, there's more. Check out See You Next Tuesday, where we reveal the juicy results from our listener polls from But Am I Wrong?
And don't miss Fisting Friday, where we catch up, chat about pop culture, TV, and movies. It's the perfect way to kick off your weekend.
So if you're looking for a podcast that feels like a chat with your besties, listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.